Yeah, it feels discriminating and unfair because it was not the reason that they say, will you have to be honest from if you help new recipients, you have to be honest about the amount of children you helped. Uh, no, they say you are not able to help new recipients because it's damaging that there's so many children, and that's really discriminating.
I suppose some people might be a bit shocked, that one man has donated sperm to so many couples and individuals that you've ended up, I suppose, technically having more than 550 children. How did this all start?
Well, actually, I met in college a friend. Well, I befriended a guy in college. I did my practicum also with him, and he told me that he was infertile, and he was in the process of discovering this as we were studying together. Yeah, that made a huge impact on me, and he also told me like the possibilities that he had, like adoption or foster parents or sperm donation. So, and this last thing just stuck in my mind. Like I was interested in it, and I started reading more about it. And in 2004, they stopped they changed the law in the Netherlands. So sperm donors, were not allowed to donate anonymously anymore. And there was a huge wave of clinics closing, and they run out of sperm quite quickly. And to me, this just was strange because I was thinking, well, I would not donate anonymously because I first for the child, but also for the parents and for the donor, it will be yeah way better if there was no anonymity, but especially for the child. And I just started reading more and more, and then I was reading about donors that were known donors, and I found it so wonderful to what they did, like a small gift, but it has big impact, and they really help building these families to make a dream come true. And I was just imagining, well, what would it be if I became a donor? And I just said to myself, well, think about it. If you take a year to think about it, and if after 1 year you still feel like positive towards this, then well, maybe you should also join this, this voluntary work as a donor.
No, there are different ways of doing it. You can do it privately, you can do it through clinics. All these kind of years later, 550 potential or maybe more children later that you have fathered. Some people are angry because they feel that you weren't honest with them about how many children you had already fathered. And that's what's led to this ban, that you're banned from donating sperm to new recipients apart from creating siblings. Do you understand those people's anger? I accept that not everybody is angry, but the people who are, do you understand why they're angry?
Well, it would be more honorable if I would be open about it. If I wouldn't lie, I agree on that. That's not a good thing. But on the other hand, I spent maybe in the 16 years, maybe 50,000 hours of my life in helping them. So I understand if they will be like a bit shocked or said, okay, well, we're surprised, but to be angry or even hateful, as some of the parents became, that's to me a little bit out of line in my opinion.
You said some of them were hateful. What did they say or do?
Oh, just horrible things like I'm not going to repeat it, but just like extremely hateful things. And they write also extremely hateful things about me. Some of them, like it's a really like a small group, but that's and these are the people that are running this case, and I don't think they represent like the parents in general. Of course, I understand if somebody will be like shocked or maybe they a bit upset or even upset, but there's like I help them with realizing such a beautiful dream, and you have to see it in perspective, in my opinion.
You also understand, of course, that the more children there are that come from you, let's just say 550 children that are, that have the same father, if those children grow up and meet each other, some of the parents will be worried about them having relationships.
Yeah, well, they didn't really think about it true and true, in my opinion, because I'm a known donor. So first of all, the children have the right to know my identity. In the clinics from 16 years, but the clinics is just a small part of the proportion that I helped. So the other children know from birth who I am. I'm a known donor plus, so they already know my identity, and uh, the chance that if they meet up, they can easily check. Like they can ask, well, I heard that you have two mothers, or you have only a single mother. Could you be a donor child? And then they could easily find out. Like the chance that they would meet up and have children together and not knowing it is just like zero. There's no chance that that will happen.
Jonathan, what do you say to people who feel perhaps they don't know, but they just have a kind of gut reaction, which is you're doing this because, you have a huge ego and you want to be this father of all these hundreds of children, because I don't know, you have a kind of a God complex or something like that. Presumably, people will have said that to you. What do you say to people like that?
Well, I'm a donor for 16 years. They clearly don't know what's going on in the life of a donor. You deal with people, you deal with helping them. I've never donated to do something for myself. Of course, it's great to be like um, helpful towards people, and the gratefulness that you receive is really something. It's a miracle to receive that kind of gratefulness. But it's just like people always have these like first reactions, first response, but they don't know me. They don't know the the way I am as a donor. That I keep in contact with the children, with the parents. That I visit them yearly. That been, I've been to births. I've been to like like did exams for swimming or sports. So it's like a first reaction, and probably I would think the same if I would heard something like this. But if they would know me and if they see my motivation, then yeah, probably that's yeah something different.
And your motivation is purely to help. There's no kind of financial motivation.
No, absolutely not. No, it even cost me money to help because you are eligible to ask the travel expenses, for example. But in maybe 10% of the people they forgot to pay me, or they say, "Oh, I will pay you next month," and they forgot it. And it's okay. I don't bother. I'm not bothered by that. But it costs me more than that. That it would make me money in any way. Also, the clinics they
Go on.
yeah the clinics also pay you like a small fee, like travel expenses, and they give you sometimes a bottle of wine or something.
How many families and children are you still in touch with? I mean, roughly, if there's 550 children out there, roughly, how many of them are you still in touch with?
I counted it's like 75% of the families, like in some form. Like it could be like I would see them once a year or monthly, or I would only write them once in a while.
What does this mean kind of for your own hopes and dreams of being a father, an actual father, in that you see the child, all the time, the child lives in your house? Has that affected how you see that? Is that something you still want to do?
Yeah, even more. I think when I meet the children, you just feel like an instant connection, and you know, and I feel yeah, that's being a father is something really I want to achieve myself as well. I think it's sometimes I'm jealous at these families that they have like their family, and I'm not having the family yet. So yeah, it's definitely grown over me more and more, and definitely something I will be happy to. I hope that I would also be able to have.
And Jonathan, forgive me, this is a really personal question, but over the 16 years, has it caused any difficulty in terms of any partners that you might have had, or any kind of desire that you might have had to have children? Because it must come up as a topic of conversation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think for some women that I was in a relation with, it seems first like oh no big deal, that's fine. But when they realize that yeah I am in contact with all these families, then yeah you must have like a strong character to divide that. Like okay, he is privately he is mine, but as a donor he is also this responsibility to keep in contact with all these people. So yeah, the it's I can understand that not all yeah ladies are yeah are you know know from the start what they're getting into. Like
How does it feel, Jonathan, to be the father of 550 children?
just the same as anybody else, because for me they're not a number. The children, I really love them. They are unique human beings. I don't see them as a number, and I don't think anybody should see them as a number or as part of a number. They're unique souls, and but I must say I'm blessed with all the goodness that I received from the children and the parents over the years. That's really something. Yeah, I must stay humble in that regard.
And then finally, Jonathan, you've been banned now from donating sperm to new recipients. I know there's a exception for siblings. Is that something that you are able to do, that you will refrain from donating?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not something that you feel that you want to do. Is it something that becomes a habit almost, a habit of helping that might be difficult to stop doing, or do you think it'll be easy?
Well, the thing that was not really clear for even the judge, I think, was that I already stopped donating in 2019 for new recipients. Once in a while, there were people like contacting me through Facebook or my YouTube channel. Like, hey, I read that you were a donor. Um, you know, would you be able to help us? But I wasn't really actively like putting advertisements on fertility boards. So it was kind of a weird like situation for me to see like, hey, we want to stop you donating. So okay, I already basically stopped donating. So just feels like something they come up with like a few years too late, in my opinion. But yeah, it feels discriminating and unfair because it was not the reason that they say, well, you have to be honest from if you help new recipients, you have to be honest about the amount of children you helped. Uh, no, they say you are not able to help new recipients because it's damaging that there's so many children, and that's really discriminating because, as I explained to you before, if you go to a clinic like the Danish clinic Cryos or the European Sperm Bank, they don't have to tell you how much siblings they already created with one donor, and probably they go they have a limit in every country, but they ship worldwide. So I assume, and you can guarantee that each donor there goes up to at least 100 or 200, and it's still allowed in the Netherlands to use these donors, which for me is fine. I don't have a problem with help because there's such a shortage in donors, and people are not realizing that there is such a shortness in donors. So I think it's very discriminating and yeah, unfair that they ban me, but they don't ban the clinics.
Jonathan, thank you so much for talking to us. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating, really. And thank you for being so open about it all. Thank you for your time.